Bullshit. And welcome.
We back.
Welcome back to the Free Jets Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 87.
87
you know what I'm saying? You got G's here. You got K-Cinco here.
Travis Kelsey out here.
I'm not sure why this motherfucker took my whole flow, bar for bar, the whole
I ain't gonna lie, I was wearing this before you was wearing this.
That's not a fact. That's not a fact. I've been up since about 7:30. That's not a fact.
I was up to.
That's also cap. I've been up since 8:30.
I was up at 8:29. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Talk to me.
But real Steelers colors real nice though. Feel me?
Yeah, I like that hat. I like that hat. I peeped the Steelers. If you know, you know Steelers.
They even know. They don't know about this. The 1933. Feel me?
Not for nothing though. A lot of people don't know nothing about like the historical meanings behind a lot of the team names. In sports,
so shit, yeah.
And I've always,
it's very fascinating.
It is very fascinating. Some have nothing to do with anything though. You know what I'm saying? Some is just fucking random. You know what I'm saying? Like Detroit Lions, ain't no fucking Lions in Detroit.
Hey,
sorry to tell you that.
Never,
you know what I'm saying? But
never been.
But some like even the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has to do with the fucking pirates that landed in the Gulf Coast of Florida and all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? But
Buccaneers.
That's neither here nor there, man. It's Sunday. It's basically Halloween. I didn't realize Halloween weekend was gonna be 5 days straight.
Yeah,
niggas
that's
gonna be
how
partying.
it is.
Normally Halloween. It depends on when it lands.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the weekend.
Because if Halloween would have landed on a Friday, that's the only day we celebrating. That would have been it. Nobody's gonna go on November 1st dressed up in full costume to a Halloween party.
I see what you're saying. Just because if it lands on Tuesday, so it lands on Tuesday. So
niggas been partying since
Thursday,
Friday.
From Thursday.
Yeah, word.
From Thursday till Tuesday.
Nah, word.
They make it the whole
so
extendo.
I'm partied the fuck out. I'm done with the party and shit. I'm gonna just wait till the actual day of. You know what I'm saying? Besides that, I'm good off Halloween, man. That shit was cool, you know. But how's your Halloween weekend been going, man?
It was alright, yo. The weather was nice yesterday. I didn't really do nothing.
Yo, it was summer the last 2 days. What the fuck was that about?
Crazy.
I don't like that. I don't like that because, see, people see good weather in October and like, oh shit, it's lit, we outside. I think the polar bears are gonna fucking burst into flames. The world's gonna fucking, we're on the way to the rapture because why the fuck is it 80 degrees in October, son? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. I don't like that. And every year there's like a day in like January that it's just like 70 something, and I'm like, I don't like this. Like, this is global warming.
Global warming.
Yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to do for sure. But
doing what it do.
Yeah, man, it's been a Halloween weekend. Actually, I ain't gonna lie though. Growing up, Halloween was like my favorite holiday.
Halloween was lit.
Always the best. Like
always.
holidays, Halloween after 5th grade. I remember, shout out to my son Mike Scotty. Mike Scotty threw a party on Halloween, and I remember that was like the beginning of the end for me. Like that was like my whole life changed from that party. That was the first time I seen bitches shaking ass at a party. And by bitches shaking ass, we was 10 years old. So I don't know if I should even be saying that, but I mean I was 10 too. But we was 10 years old. That was the first time I ever even seen people drive fucking in a party.
Everyone used to count how many dances they got.
What, nigga? That mattered. What you mean?
What?
Bro, I got 13 dances, bro.
Yo, you bugging out.
Yeah, but you ain't danced with her though.
Nah,
yes, I did, bro. You ain't see me, niggas lying.
But one of mine was like 2 songs though, so like it counts for really 3. Like
I ain't gonna lie, dancing with a bitch back then, you might as well. That was like catching a body for her. Like you did that.
It was definitely catching.
Like you did that for sure. Like you got to grab some ass cheeks. What?
You just danced with the biggest ass in the room.
Then by like 8th grade, shit started getting witty and bitches started putting their hand back, started grabbing. Man, that was a whole different ballgame. Now we was fucking. We fucked. I ain't gonna lie. We fucked. I'm telling niggas we fucked after that. Like, I ain't gonna lie. You grabbed my dick at the party, we fucked. Yeah, it is what it is.
We did that. We definitely did.
Yeah, shout out to our adolescents, man. I remember that shit was bad. Yo, Halloween, bro, I'm telling you, that shit was better than Christmas to me. Because it don't matter if that shit was on a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm outside, nigga. I'm outside till 4 in the morning.
Legit. It was going up, but everybody was outside. Everybody was having a good time, dressed up. All
Hell
that.
Yeah,
Parties.
14 as ever, just drinking for no reason, doing dumb shit.
Walking the streets, running the streets.
My greatest memory of Halloween definitely was my 8th grade Halloween. I don't know why I was drunk and how, but I know I ended up we ended up at Samantha crib. That was the first time I ever. Yes, I remember because I fell in love with that bitch that day. That was like my first day really meeting her. Like I had seen her and heard of her, and then that day we went to her crib, and then we met her pops. And I remember her mom was some little white lady. She was like a little 90-pound dainty white lady. Then her pops come home. He's some nigga named Hassan, 260 pounds, solid muscle like this.
He looked like he was in the league.
That nigga, he was in the league. Listen, Hassan was a street nigga if I ever met one. For sure.
Yo, I remember that exact
R.I.P. to my guy.
R.I.P. He did pass away.
That nigga dead pulled up. I'll never forget that nigga showed up to the crib with the Mob Deep chain on. I'm like, this is too much. This is too much. I can't do it.
MOP, baby.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yo, so in other news, did you hear what's going on in Maine?
God damn, this was dark. It was all festive. We was talking Halloween.
Yeah.
You took it there. You gotta talk about it.
It has to be talked about,
man. Honestly, you know what's really got me fucked up, man, is the way that this has become so common is these mass shootings, bro. It's so normal. It's like I'm desensitized to it.
It's one of those where we report it, we make an uproar, and we move on until the next one happens. It's all a cycle.
I don't even know the uproar. What was the uproar? Niggas didn't riot. We didn't do shit. Like
but it's the same.
I'm saying though, like, it ain't an uproar like how it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Because growing up,
because it happens so often.
Yeah, shit is sad, bro. It's really sad. It is. Especially the senselessness of it. It's like, oh, this dude's just going AWOL. He's fucking. I'm gonna walk into this grocery store and start letting motherfuckers have it.
Yo, but the thing is, he went to 3 different locations, bro.
I know, bro. And that's the thing. He's in Maine, so ain't nobody around. So you whack somebody 30 minutes away in Maine, like the news don't travel that fast. There's not that many fucking people.
Yo, 22 confirmed dead. I don't know if that number changed. It was a countless number of injuries. Apparently, he was an ex-army guy, and he was an arms instructor.
Yeah, he wasn't. I seen that he was an arms instructor. Yeah. AKA, he's the most lethal nigga with a gun. The last motherfucker you want to see with a gun that's trying to hunt people.
And man, it's a tragedy. It's a very unfortunate situation all around. What ticks me off even the worst is the fact that he killed himself, bro.
Like, he whacked himself,
bro. He wrote a suicide letter to his son or whatever the case may be. And they couldn't find him. As soon as the letter came out and they couldn't find him, I'm like, oh, he's probably in a ditch somewhere. And they found him like yesterday.
Damn.
So, and that is my biggest thing, man. Like, you really the biggest bitch, bro. That shit is really crazy.
Yeah, I kind of
First of all, like, you gonna start shooting at people who are innocent, who can't defend themselves. That makes you a pussy. And then you gonna kill yourself, and then you gonna off yourself after. I can't even, man. It is really making me tear up right now.
Yeah, I can't. That shit,
it's unbelievable. And I don't even want to get into the political aspect of it, because it's not even about that. It's about the humanity aspect of it.
You know what I mean? People are on a different level. Like, this isn't a thing this didn't used to happen. I don't understand where it came from. Like, this is an American thing at that.
It's strictly an American thing.
But why? Where does the idea in America come from? Where we're like, you know what? This is the last day. I'm gonna go out with a bang. I'm gonna kill a bunch of people. Not I'm gonna start a fire. I'm gonna go. I don't know. Like, there's a bunch of other things. Go commit other crime. I'm gonna go on a robbery spree. Go steal some. Like, crash out in another way, my nigga. Like, there's a better way. Why are you running around killing people, dog?
And of course, and anytime sometimes this stuff like this happens, they go look into his background, and of course,
he was in a fucking mental hospital. I heard, like, just about last month or in August.
He was he was retweeting and a bunch of right wing, extremist ideas, whatever the case may be, and there were some people around him who were
this bitch ass nigga was on Twitter.
Something about the blog. It could have been Facebook, whatever.
This nigga
Facebook,
here.
Twitter, or something like about
this
that.
Nigga here.
But he was retweeting, and the stuff that he was putting on his timeline was very extremist, right wing.
AKA there was red flags,
huge red flags, and and somebody close to him, like his neighbor or something, like they were worried about his safety. He was acting erratic or whatever the case may be. So there was flags along the way, man. And I said this on this platform before, man. I don't necessarily believe in taking away people's guns. I don't, but I definitely think there needs to be stricter measures put in place for those who are able to legally to obtain guns and to be able to keep them.
Yeah,
because I feel like if something happened, okay, you can pass all these checks in order to get your gun, but if something happens, if you do something so heinous or something happens, or
you go to check yourself into the mental hospital,
then they should be removed from you. You know what I mean? You should be able to. It should be able to be revoked from you.
Right.
Just because it's a privilege. It should be a privilege. It should be a right. I think it should be a privilege, not a right. I don't think everybody should, just like everybody shouldn't be able to drive. If you're legally blind and can't see, why should you have a driver's license?
Right.
You know what I mean? The red flags were there. Oh, you already knew he couldn't see, but so why did he have why was he registered to drive? Why did he have a driver's license?
Man,
like
I said, the normality of it is what really kills me.
Yes,
man. Because I remember growing up, there was really only like 2-3 mass shootings. It was Columbine, Virginia Tech, and I feel like the Oklahoma bombing was like a suicide thing. It was like domestic terrorism. It wasn't like a foreign, was it? If I'm not mistaken,
it was domestic.
It was, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then Sandy Hook came after.
Sandy Hook came like 20 years later.
Yeah.
Columbine,
Virginia Tech
Columbine was like 99, 2000.
Yeah, something like that.
Virginia Tech was like 04, 05, something like that. And then we didn't have nothing for a minute, and then boom. Suddenly it just became more and more common, and now in 2023, like this shit barely makes the news past 2-3 days. The manhunt was the only thing that was being broadcast live after that.
And then the news will cover it for a 4 or 5 day period, and then move on to something else happens, and then you know, tragedy will strike again, and we'll talk about it for a few days and move on, but nothing will ever actually change.
Yeah, man. I like I said, I don't get, man. There's no purpose behind it. Like not to justify other countries doing it, but at least like when you hear it, do you hear these crazy like attacks on innocent people in other countries? There's some kind of motive. There's some, whether it be political motive or religious motive. There's something there that I guess they rationalize with themselves, and they're like, this is what I have to do, you know, rather it be for some terroristic purposes to create fear, you know what I'm saying, for that. These motherfuckers is just like, nah, I don't want to be here, and I don't want y'all to be here, so I'm gonna go shoot this shit up. Like,
I would push back to say that a lot of situations here it is political. Think about what happened in Buffalo. He was literally shooting black people. Think about this guy. He had all this white ring extremist ideology and stuff. So I would argue that a lot of it is political. They feel like, and I'm gonna put the lens on of how they think. They feel like that white people, quote unquote, are under attack. They're becoming the minority. There's a bunch of foreigners invading our country. You know, the inclusion makes them exclusive. That this is how they feel. They feel like their future is under attack. That in a sense would be political. Right. If you think about it.
I mean, yeah, but like for example, like Maine, first of all, there's only white people in Maine, so that example that you gave makes sense. We could do it in Buffalo, yes, some of them. But do you think that majority of them out the last 20 that happened? Do you think you think majority of them are politically fueled? Because I don't. A lot of them.
The ones that I remember that I'm thinking off the top of my head, I think are. I'm not necessarily including like the school shooters in that.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like you have to include all that because all that falls under the same category. It's just a mass shooting. And it's like, what is the purpose? What is the end goal? What was the motive? What did you accomplish by doing that? Did you push any regime forward by doing that? Some, like you said, I can see.
Or the nightclub in Florida,
right,
with the gay club.
Yeah, he shot the gay club.
The one in Colorado at the movie theater. Yo, there's so many, bro.
But the one in Colorado movie at the movie, you talking about the Batman shit from like 2008 when Dark Knight dropped. That dude, that was specific people he was killing. That nigga just thought he was the Dark Knight. He thought he was the Joker. Like he was burnt out.
Nah, that was the
he was just burnt out. But see, we already forgot about Uvalde, Texas. Like that didn't just happen within last year.
Legit.
When they just killed like 30-something kids.
Yeah.
Like, bruh, I don't see it. Then you got motherfuckers like Christopher Doyner, the ex-Marine, ex-cop. He was both. He was ex-military and ex-police, and then he went and just shot police. And he was a black guy. He's one of the few times we hear of a mass shooter that goes and kills black. What about the Las Vegas shooting? Like this all happens within the last 2-3 years. And well, not the Christopher Doyner, but we can name so many examples within the last 2-3 years.
And
where it's just like
Dylan Roof. Don't forget about Dylan Roof as well.
Which one was Dylan Roof?
I don't.
Oh, he went to the church in South Carolina.
Yep.
Okay, you do got
you
a lot
see
of
what I'm
examples.
saying? There are a few examples where it is literally politically motivated. I would say.
But, okay, so once again though, okay, remove them. I'm not saying I stand with what they got going on, obviously, but okay, they have a purpose, a motivation. I'm more focused on what is going on with the motherfuckers that's like innocent people need to die because I don't like myself.
Or like, I'm off. I'm close to the edge. Somebody has to go. You know, I don't know, man.
Where does that come from? As humans, where the fuck does that come from?
I would say I wouldn't even say as humans. I would say as Americans, because this is literally just an American thing. It's not even. It doesn't happen all over the world, and even in the proportionality of population. You know what I mean? So we have a lot more densely populated country than a lot of other countries, but even in proportionality of the population, it doesn't happen as often. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
We're only 5% of the population on this planet, and it only happens here basically.
So my pushback would be, what's going on in this country where people feel like that? It's not even a human aspect of it. That's my pushback. What's going on in this country where people are feel like they're pushed to go to that level?
Yeah,
That's the burning million dollar question that I don't think we have an answer.
I mean, since the beginning of time, though, humans do have the idea of like go big, like go out with a bang, and then you don't really see that with like animals and stuff. Like
But
animals don't go and commit suicide, like
I don't know.
intentional suicide, like
So-
deliberate, like I'm gonna jump off this cliff on purpose. Like you don't really see that. I've never seen that in animals. Like some do dumb shit, like like they might fall onto the street or cross the street, but that's not on purpose. Like we intentionally hurt ourselves. Why do humans do that? I don't see any other species do that. When they send any other species, you sense danger, you get the fuck out of there. Even a bear don't want to fuck with another bear if it's too big. Like, well, we're like, now we're gonna run into this gunfight and hope to get killed. Like, why do we do that? Like suicide by police and shit like that.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to my boy Rich too. Cause
Yeah,
listen, I always think about him when I think about this shit. Cause it's like, yo, going out with a bang, it's like, fuck. Like,
And
why does that? That's a human thing to go out with a bang. And that's common, so I'm not gonna say that's been since the beginning of time, motherfuckers.
No,
have
that
been
is
thinking
no, that is.
But to go, let's go kill out with a bang, and that bang being, let me kill everybody I can get my hands on.
And then I'm gonna kill myself and write this letter.
It's a spooky, fucked up situation, but I just want to send prayers up to all those families, man. I really can't imagine what that got to be like. Like, what do you mean? Like, yo, you went to Walgreens today, came back, and you found out a whole generation of your family got whacked because some motherfucker just walked in there. And then, like, seeing the footage, bro. The footage of that shit, bro, it fucked me up.
No, and it does every time. And I feel like it really hits me hard because, like, any innocent person that's suffering is too many for me. Yeah. Any one of them is way too much for me. Right. And it's just a cycle that keeps going on. And I want to psychoanalyze somebody who studies like anthropology and populations and stuff to think about why this happens in this country, why it's specifically an American thing. Oh
man, that shit is really fucking sad, bro. Because there's got to be an answer to how to fix this, like, and it's not just taking the guns. Nah, we're suffering mentally more than anything.
Absolutely.
That's what the real situation is. Like, there's something mentally, chemically imbalanced. There's something wrong.
But then again, but also people, it's not mutually exclusive to Americans that are suffering mentally. See, so like, you feel me? It's not just us who suffer mentally. It's around the world. But for some reason, stuff like this only happens here.
Yeah.
It's a conundrum that I don't have the answer to. You don't have the answer to. Maybe nobody has the answer to. My only thing that I can guess would be, the way the economy's moving. So many people in debt and the consumerism and the fear of missing out and comparing and the lives and everyone else is doing good and. That's the only thing that I can think of. Obviously, I don't know if that's the right answer or not, but the only thing I can think of is how fast paced our society is and how much we are fixated on success and monetary gains and whatever the case may be, and people that don't have that. Because if you think about it, you've done some traveling. You've well traveled. I've done some traveling. If you go to other countries that don't have a lot, those people are happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Those people are for the most part, those people are happy not having anything.
Yeah.
The difference is here when you see people have stuff and you don't, now you start comparing to them. Even though you might have the opportunity, you might not have the opportunity. Something might have happened in your life, whatever the case may be. But if you go overseas when people don't have anything, when everyone doesn't have everything, everyone's happy. You know what I mean?
That just reminded me of a Dave Chappelle stand-up special. He actually explained it almost exactly how you explained it, where it's like, he said the only time in his life he ever felt like I need to kill everybody was when he felt like he was the poorest motherfucker out of school. And he realized that
the comparison
is just like, when you're comparing yourself to everybody else's situation and you feel like you're the one at the very lowest, it gives you that feeling of like, man, fuck everybody, and it gives you that jealous and that envy. But to really carry out those acts is where my brain can't process.
We're talking about the extreme shit. I'm talking about the ideology. I've been to Jamaica over 10 times. You know, I've seen the kids running around. You know, they for all intents and purposes of this conversation, compared to us, they don't really have anything, and everybody has a smile on their face. Everybody's happy. Everyone has no worries. You know, it's just about the different climate, growing up in different climates. And
I think it's part of that is like the capitalism in America, where it's
Absolutely.
like, yeah, you got to be the richest, you got to get your shit together, you got to go become a doctor, you got to go do this and that.
As a young age, you got to get these good grades, or else you're gonna fail. You're gonna be a failure in life.
And you know what? That does have a lot to do with it, because
that has so much to do with it.
Because you know, it was actually really spooky too. My brother, he had went to Cornell University, and if people know, that's Ivy League school.
Shout out Cornell.
Right, it's one of like the top.
Shout
8.
out Angel Vasquez. You feel me? That's my guy.
Shout out Big Bro. But that's one of the most prestigious scholastic schools. I mean, one of the most prestigious colleges in the world, for real. And it also has the highest suicide rate of any college, especially at that time. I'm not sure if that stat is still here today, but when he was there from 2007 to 2011, had the highest suicide rate. And there was like this big cliff, and people would just jump off this bridge into this valley that this bridge connected to mountains, and it's just like, it comes back to that pressure and the thought of like, I gotta succeed, I gotta do this and that. I can't let my parents down.
Society's telling you, see people around you succeed.
And then you at a school like Cornell where everybody's smart as shit.
Yeah, everybody.
You might have went to a good high school and a bunch of niggas went to college, but when you at Cornell,
growing up, you were the top of the top. You were the smartest person in your school. You're the smartest person in the area. Now you go to a school where everybody was the smartest.
Right. Now you go to school, you don't shine like shit at all. You know what I'm saying?
And you mentioned Ivy League school. R.I.P. Tim. He went to UPenn.
Yeah,
he went to an Ivy League school. One of our classmates. That we grew up with.
To turn up Tim.
R.I.P. He committed suicide as well. He went to UPenn. You know, from what I heard, he was really stressing over there. You know,
yeah, I can only imagine.
And it's what we're going back to as far as you know, the climate of the capitalism that we're in. It's always about drive. It's always about excellence. It's always about success. You always have to do better. You always have to be the best.
So I mean, would the answer be to like just tone everything down, tell everybody, yo, live a regular life, then, motherfucker? Like, just everybody chill. If nobody's trying to be rich, we gonna all be happy. Is that how that works? Because I don't think that's how that works, man.
I think it's harder. It's hard to just, you know, get up and change a from a societal standpoint.
In order to get one thing, you gotta lose another.
And like
so in order to get no shootings, you might have to get everybody trying to live a real simple.
No, when I went to Amsterdam,
I don't know.
When I went to Amsterdam to talk about, you know, traveling and different experiences. When I went to Amsterdam, it was a culture of people not caring. Nobody, like here, you know, living in the greater New York area. You know, I've been to LA a few times. Everybody wants to be the best. It's about consumerism. Everybody want to look the flyest. Everyone want the biggest house, the biggest cars.
Right.
When you go out there, nobody cared about nothing. Everyone just want to have a good time.
Yeah.
Everybody was fits that outfit. You wouldn't be surprised if you saw anything out there. Legit. Nobody cared. It was just everybody. Like, I was only there for like, I don't think I only went for like 10 days, but everybody there was just so
long ass time.
Happy. Wow. Everybody was just so happy. I feel like nobody had a care in the world. I don't know if I'm saying that as a tourist there, but that's just the feeling I felt. I felt like I was like in the East Village. You feel me? Nobody really cared about anything. Nobody was judging anybody.
Yeah, everybody's gay, running around with a sock on their dick.
Nobody cares, but everybody just wanted to have a good time. Everybody was introducing themselves. Everybody was so friendly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. Nobody was comparing. Nobody was hating on each other. You know what I mean? It's just the mindset of the people.
You do notice that overseas a lot too. Yeah, in Brazil it was like that for me. Like, everybody was introducing themselves, talking to you. Hey, where you from? Da 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 da. Even with language barriers, they didn't give a fuck. They still wanted to try to talk to you. They were quick to shed a smile, and it's like, I know that 99% of these people are probably living behind. Like, are probably living under the poverty line, or at least what American standards.
Yeah, what would you consider?
American standards, these people are probably poor as fuck. Yeah. But they're happy as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. And guess what? They got guns in Amsterdam. They got guns in Brazil. You feel me? But we don't see stuff like this.
Got guns in Brazil.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't see stuff like this happening. You know, it's just about the mindset of the people. So, you know, is there a perfect solution for it? There is no perfect solution for it.
And because it's like, I think about it like this: like, if it wasn't for the idea of capitalism and consumerism and our need and our strive to want to be the best, would we be as powerful as we are? Would we be who we are as a country if we didn't have that? I think that's what separates us. Maybe that is what separates us, you know? Like, maybe that's what makes us the best country. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that. I don't care what nobody tells me. I believe we are the best country, because no matter why you put it, what I'm saying? All those people are happy and all that good stuff over there, but then they're still poor. If some shit was to go down, a war, or if they was like they don't have the means to defend themselves and to take over, not just defend, but on the offensive side, like they don't have that. Where we had that due to a lot of the simple things like our the amount of people, our employment rates, and the taxes that we pay that go towards funding all this other stuff, and you know the our ability to pay a military that people are actually signing up to want to defend this country. They're not doing it by force. Where a lot of these other countries, they're forced to go do this shit. And how much do you expect the motherfucker to defend you that is already not trying to be there? He's already scared. He don't want to be there. He's here because he's 22 and he belongs to this country. That's a wild predicament to put that kid in. So don't be surprised when your army's not as strong as ours, because we've allocated the resources and you know the time to make these people feel, you get what I'm trying to say. I feel like that might be what makes us the best, but at the same time, now we're dealing with the repercussions, which is mass shootings and fuck shit and high suicide rates and all that other shit. But it's like, I feel like in order to if we try to get rid of one, another thing's gonna have to go.
I see what you're saying. I would push back and say, but think about how we're the best, right? And I'm not gonna sit here and give the thousands of examples that I can, but we reallocate overseas funds toward us. So what are the reasons why a lot of these other countries are poor? Is because of us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And when they say that people are flooding to come here because they're just coming to opportunity, we took all the opportunities away from the country that they're from. So they're coming here where all the resources and all the land and all the opportunity.
But I feel like the name of the game in this world shit is to be the best, be the greatest, be the strongest, be the take over everything. Like that's been the quest of life since the beginning of time. From the tribal days to being in this village, like we're gonna keep expanding. We're gonna take over that village. We're gonna take over that land. Why? Because it's closer to the river. We need that resource. Cool. We're gonna take that. Like, and if these people ain't with it and they don't want to be part of this tribe, well, guess what? We're gonna ravage this whole shit, burn your shit down, kill the men, take the women and the kids, and continue to grow and create this empire. And then it's just been an arms race since the beginning of time. Like, so I'm not saying that it's right, but what I'm saying is if we not doing it, somebody else is trying to do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's always been the justification. You feel me? That's always
since the beginning of time, though. I'm talking to the caveman days.
I would say when you look back in time and throughout history and a lot of different eras in time, there were a lot of situations where people definitely had their feud. I mean, nations or countries, whatever the case, definitely had their feuds with their neighbors. But overall, it really wasn't. As you say, in arms race, you know, everybody was trading with each other throughout the world and everything. Mm-hmm. You know, and I don't necessarily think that, like I said, everyone had their wars or whatever going on, whether neighborly, but throughout the whole world and society, there was a lot of cooperation. You'd be surprised how much cooperation there was as far as.
I do believe that, but just because there was a lot of cooperation doesn't mean that there wasn't motherfuckers working on some sneaky shit on the side.
Oh,
nuclear
of course,
bombs and atomic warfare and biological warfare. The motherfuckers been plotting the whole time, which is why we had to stay 10 steps ahead. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got Albert Einstein to go make some shit. Like, yo, you go make some shit that's gonna destroy everything, nigga. Let these niggas know we not playing when we go over there. Like, shut this shit down, like, nigga. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, there is some cooperation. Like, of course. Majority of people want peace, but that's because they don't really have a choice. There's still going to be those power 3, 4, 5 countries or 3, 4, 5 entities that are like, nah, we trying to run this shit by the end of the day. So it's that race is going to be there. Like the actual race, not race. Like
no. I know what you mean.
Like the race is going to be there. Like motherfuckers going to be trying to be the best no matter what. That's just the name of the game in this life shit. You're trying to take over everything. Like we've been trying to set empires from the beginning of time. Motherfucker, somebody want to be the king. Somebody has to be the top of the helm. You know what I'm saying? And there's always gonna be the top of the helm that you see and the top of the helm that you don't see. They play the backdrop and tell this top of the helm, yo, just say this, do this, do that. Yeah. So we're gonna play the background and own everything else.
So many examples of that as well.
And it goes back to what you originally said is, man, none of this shit's gonna change. The cycle's gonna continue.
That's what I'm saying.
The cycle's gonna continue. But I mean, that's just to get to the bottom of like, do we see this shit ever changing as far as like the mass shootings and everything? It's like, nah, it's just because I don't see American culture ever changing where we're just kumbaya and everybody just.
You know, because of consumerism, because there are dollars backing, it'll never change because people are getting paid off stuff like this.
Yeah, man, that shit is sad, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. Another note though, I just found out though. I'm too old to get drafted to war, so it's lit. We straight. I'll be honest. We good. We good.
I ain't even know that.
We're good. My man just told me like, yo, we good. When I told him I was like, I'm 29, he was like, nigga, they not about to bother you. Like, yeah, drop a bomb. Good looking mom. Cause yeah, I found that shit out, nigga. I'm chilling.
I'm going to Canada.
I didn't even know there was a limit to how old you could be to join the army. You can't join after 34, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't know that.
34 is the cutoff. I mean, it makes sense though. Cause think about it. You 34. If you just enlisted at 34, isn't motherfucker ended that's 28? He's a 10-year veteran. He's looking at you like, do this, do that. And you're like,
that's the OG.
Yeah, like I'll slap the shit out you, man. You a fucking child to me.
Nah, your sergeant, yeah, that's a fact.
Think about it. I know people that were sergeants since they were 24, 25.
Me too.
It's like, I'm gonna listen to a 24 year old, I'm 34.
I know
like,
I know some people who listen to 18 and they in their mid-20s and they feel me.
Yeah, my boy just got just got up to sergeant. Shout out to my boy Flock. He just got up to sergeant. He's 28. He just turned 28, and he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I got motherfuckers that's 32, and I'm telling them what to do. Like
that's like a job. Sometimes your manager could be younger.
It is a job, but I mean, it's a different level of like, there's a different tone and aggression that they speak to you. You feel me? It's not just, oh, you're late for work, I'm gonna have to write you up. It's like, just do some push-ups. Like, I'm not doing none of that. What the fuck are you talking about? No, I'm not doing it. Like, you my little brother's age, I'm not doing it. Like,
but everybody wants to talk about a draft, but realistically, when's the last time we actually had a draft?
I think Vietnam.
That's what I'm saying.
I think if I'm not mistaken, Vietnam we had a draft.
Was in the 70s.
Yeah, the 70s. That's the one Muhammad Ali wasn't with. He said, I'm not doing it.
He said, I'm not.
I'm not going for it.
He said, listen. He said, I'm gonna go across the world to fight a bunch of people who look more like me than the people here. He said. They ain't nobody in Viet Cong ever called me a nigga. What am I going over there fighting them for?
Yeah, nah, that's intense. There's somebody else famous that draft too. I'm trying to remember who it was. What? Nah, Vietnam. Trump was that old? He is that old.
Trump? Yeah, Trump's the war. Trump's a draft dodger. People want to talk about that.
Listen. If I'm that rich, I'm
people want to talk about. But that's not the point.
I think wasn't it Malcolm? No, Malcolm died before Vietnam. Sorry, he might have dodged
Malcolm
World
died
War.
in like 65.
Yeah, right. No, but then he might have drafted. No, I don't think timeline would have added up because World War II was in the 40s. How old was Malcolm when he passed? Wasn't he like barely 40? Yeah. Malcolm was young.
Yeah, Malcolm was young.
So I don't even think. I'm trying to remember who it was. It was somebody important.
I know Ali was one of the.
Yeah, but there was somebody else important too that dodged. I might want to Google that shit. But yeah,
your boy Trump.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Trump. Listen, did you see Kodak on Drink Champs? Please tell me you watched that.
I didn't see the whole interview, but I saw clips.
It's kind of sad though, because it's evident that Kodak's clearly on drugs. Like he's on meth, for sure.
You definitely need a translator to get through.
Oh, you definitely need subtitles. For
I'm
sure.
like, yo,
I love it. Though,
I had to rewatch the clip like 3-4 times. Like, yo,
he can blur whole like sentences into like 3-4 sounds. I'm like, what? That was real words. But like every like 2-3 sentences, you hear one word and you're like, I think we're talking about.
You can piece together the entire thing.
Yeah, like, oh shit, I get what you're saying. Kind of.
Yeah.
But he was talking about Trump and getting that presidential pardon, and it's still mind blowing to me how the fuck he pulled that shit off. But Trump. We don't even gotta get into
how who pulled what off?
How Trump Kodak pulled off the presidential pardon.
Wow, yeah.
Like, how the fuck did he do that? They asked him, like, yo, Kodak, if Trump needed $1 million, would you give it to him? He said, fuck yeah. And he said, how you want it? He said, you wanted it cash? Come get it. Like, I ain't gonna lie. You get me free from jail, motherfucker. Come get whatever you need, gang. Like, take this money. But I mean, yeah, man, shit is hilarious. Watching that Drink Champs episode, I think everybody should watch that because Kodak, for real, man, he makes me nervous because I feel like he's on such a thin line. But like he really is one of them ones as far as his generation's like era.
Yeah,
music.
he's one of the pillars of this generation.
Yeah,
legit
like,
pillars.
If you really want to talk about it, I think about it like the top 5 in the last 15 years of music. You gotta have
hits. He has to be in there.
Beyond just hits, also influence.
Bro, it absolutely. Influence, absolutely.
Because like if you look at Kodak's influence, just shit, Cardi B's whole career popped off of her sampling.
Bodak Yellow,
right? Kodak Black,
driving the boat.
Yellow.
That came. Meg Thee Stallion driving the boat. That came from
driving a boat. The fucking there's a million different examples. But what I love about Kodak though is that no song sounds alike. He don't have no 2 hits that sound alike. He never had 2 songs that sounded like that 2 hits that sounded like. It's like, how the fuck does he do this? And when you hear him and you hear him talk about his struggles and shit, like you realize like, yo, this kid really came from nothing.
No, he really
and like
did.
he's heavy on his Haitian uproots, like his And he was talking about the Drink Champs episode because they pressed him about, not pressed him, but they asked him like, yo, you like, why you did the
change the name?
No, why you did the song with 6ix9ine?
Oh.
And Kodak was like, yo, bro, you know how many people I take care of? Like, bro, I'm Haitian. Like, my people would look at me crazy if I didn't go take that money. He said, you want to offer me $1 million to say some words on the song? He said, I'll be fucking, he said, I didn't have to call nobody. I didn't think about asking nobody. He said, they said $1 million. He said, come with it. He said, come with it. He said, I don't care about no street shit, no gang shit. He said, bro, I take care of too many people to turn down $1 million for some words. He said, y'all crazy.
That's
that's real.
Respect. That's real.
You gotta respect that.
That's
real. He
that's
said,
real.
like, I got family that still sleep on the floor, dog. Like, what you gonna
it's
tell
really
me?
different out there.
That's what I'm saying.
It's really different.
And people, you know, it is fucked up though, because you have people like Boosie, even though I fuck with Boosie, but like they people trying to destroy him. I see Meek Mill in the comments. Talking about I don't want to be a rapper no more. I don't want to be labeled as a rapper if this is what we doing. Like, prominent names are turning him down. You see a lot of times there's favoritism in rap, especially in rap. And when it comes to the street rap shit, where like a lot of the street artists are like, I can't fuck with him, but you can fuck with him. Like, everybody want to cancel Gunna, but nobody wants to cancel QCP, who is on paperwork for telling on a nigga for killing somebody. But, you know, it's favoritism.
It's not real. It's not really real.
None
it's
of
all
it is
smoke
real.
and mirrors.
It definitely is all smoke and mirrors, but that's why you got to appreciate somebody like Kodak that you know is all the way like that. You know he's all the way burnt out. He's all the way in the streets, but he could look past that and be like, y'all crazy if y'all think I'm about to respect some shit that tell me I can't take $1 million for some words. Y'all crazy as hell. Like, and they ain't telling on me. We ain't gonna do no crimes. We ain't about to go do none of that. Like, I'm about to go in this booth, spit some words. I mean, we're not even in the studio together. I'm just gonna say some words and get up out the studio and get $1 million. It crazy. But, you know, some people didn't see it that way.
To each their own, man.
But yeah, I encourage everybody that's a Kodak fan, even if you're just a music fan, go check out that Kodak fucking interview, bro. It's fucking fire. It's fucking fire. Bro, it's different, man, because I be listening to Kodak, and I remember he used to always say, like, he learned how to read in jail at like 16, 17. Like, prior to that, he was completely illiterate. And I believe it. Like, I believe it. Listen to him talk, you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah,
like, this motherfucker don't speak clear words at all. Like,
it's sad. It's absolutely sad.
But it lets you know, like, he's really from the gutter. Like, this is a godsend that he even found rap and that he's so amazing at it. Because it's like, bro, he could be anywhere else right now, and I don't think it'd be anywhere positive if it wasn't for music.
No,
tell you that much.
I very, very agreed.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
But between him, let's see, Future, Thug, young boyish.
Baby, maybe.
Nah, Baby's too young. Baby's career is not even half of Kodak's. Baby got popping in what, 2016?
26, yeah.
Kodak got lit like 2014, 2015.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but even then though, like, I feel like Kodak had a longer streak of like hits and has had more longevity. And think about it, if Kodak wasn't in jail for 3-4 years out of the last like 7, like, think about that shit where he would be at. And he wasn't canceling himself, doing all this other shit, you know. But yeah. But I don't think I could put Baby more influential than.
I didn't say more. See, I ain't saying nothing about more
right.
influential.
But I'm thinking about just appeals. Like who's the biggest? Who's more important? I feel like Kodak's more important than Lil Baby.
Yeah.
As far as like overall what he's just overall what he's done, the amount of music, the quality, the longevity, the story, the background. Because Lil Baby was kind of like alley-oop to us from Thug and them.
He was.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole Atlanta was behind him. Boom. Kodak came out and he was the only nigga from Florida popping. Only motherfucker.
You're right. From South
he didn't have no cosign. We just see this little dirty nigga, young nigga. Okay.
Yeah,
we was like, yo, I fuck with this little 15-year-old nigga.
Days.
And he was 15. Like, people don't even realize how young he really was. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was either 15 or 16. Regardless, he's in and out of juvenile jail. Like, he wasn't even going to real jail yet. You know what I'm saying? Until a couple years into his career. So it's like, I got to give it to him on that. Like, I'll definitely put him over Baby for sure.
Oh yeah, as far as influential, about to say there's probably like a handful of like pillars where like, okay, boom, the last 10, 15 years, like, okay, like you can't talk about the era of music without mentioning them. You feel me?
I put Kodak above a lot of niggas. Not think about it, but if you really think about it, I don't want to put him in the same. I don't want to put him in the same graduating classes like Future. Because Future was popping since 2010.
Yeah, Future
was like
popping.
A 6-year head.
Future's different.
Thug Low Key 2 was 2012. Like, he had like a whole 4-year run ahead of him.
That was like 20.
If you really want to put
2012. When Barter 6 came out, what, 2013?
No. 2014? Barter 6? That was like 2015.
You sure?
Yeah. Because 2012, 2013, that Young Thug, he was still doing like, I'm a stoner, I'm a stoner, I'm a stoner.
Yeah.
And then he had
that was 1017 Thug days.
Exactly. That was that. That was when Migos was still popping.
Coming up. That was the blonde haired. Nobody remembers the blonde haired.
Nobody realized
crazy
Young
Jeffrey.
Thug has a switchblade, a razor blade, and crack rocks tattooed on his forehead. That was like the first thing that I noticed about him, and I was like, I'm fucking with this nigga. Like, did this nigga have crack rocks tattooed on his head? I'm like, yeah, there's no way I can't fuck with him.
Speaking of Thug, update with the Young Thug trial that I've seen. They're proceeding with jury selection. They've been in such a big pause about finding the right jury.
Bruh.
They're proceeding with jury selection, and the prosecution presented. They're gonna use certain lyrics.
I did see that.
I seen a list.
Thug's gonna be fine, y'all. Thug's gonna be fine. I promise you. Thug's going to be fine. I don't think he's gonna do more than 5 years. I don't see it.
What?
He don't have murder on his rap sheet. Like, there's no murder on there. It's a whole bunch of other shit that he's too rich to go to jail for.
Conspiracy to commit murder.
Nah, that's not on there.
Yeah, they got him renting the car that for the murder. They got him around the corner. They got receipts on that. I'm sure.
The word murder is not in any of his.
Bro, I'm sure. But I don't know about the actual charges, but I know from keeping up with it that they have him. Renting the vehicle.
No, I know they had all that, but I'm literally the other day I was telling my boy. My boy's a whole like Bergen County detective, and we were talking about it because he's a rap fan, and we're talking about this shit, and I'm like, yeah, he don't got murder on this shit. And he read it, and he was like, yo, you're not lying. That was literally like a week or two ago.
Oh I don't know if they changed it, but
yeah, they did though. That's the thing. They changed that. They took off a majority of. He had like 30-something counts. Now he's only fighting like 5 things. And a lot of them is possession, gun possession.
That ain't
the conspiracy to advance like a criminal organization.
Rico in general,
and racketeering.
Racketeering in general is like.
Yeah, but you got to prove that. There's a lot of you would have to prove that you're using the money to fund other shit. Like
you think they can't? They've been investigating since 2015. You think they don't got that?
I think before that they was investigating since like 2012. For real, yeah, it's spooky.
You don't get hit with a RICO unless they already had the proof, man. They don't just drop RICOs out of the blue. You're already.
It's spooky, man. Because speaking of, while we talking about jail, like I don't know if you've seen cenat, and like he's one of the biggest streamers. And I fuck with the young nigga. I don't want to seem like I'm coming at him, but it's not because it's not his fault. I don't want to blame him. It's a thing, bro. It's a societal thing where like we've always been fascinated by jail. There's a reason Shawshank Redemption is one of the greatest movies ever. There's a reason why 60 Days in Jail is literally one of the biggest fucking like reality TV shows. People love jail. It's fucking weird, but we love jail. The idea of prison rape fascinates us. We want to hear all about it. Mexican Me, another huge jail movie. That's one of the most legendary movies.
I would push back.
Look at Prison Break.
You're trying to absolve him of blame when you can pick and choose what you want to do and what content you want to put out. So I would not, just because something is popularized or something sensationalized, you can pick and choose which avenues that you want to delve into.
Yeah, well, I didn't even explain what he did.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
That's perfect. Because what Kai Cenat is doing, he's having I believe 7 days of streaming. Non-stop, like if you know how he rocks, it's an all day, every day camera on his face. I don't know if he goes and pees. I don't know how the fuck he uses the bathroom. He might keep the camera on him because people are into this. But and they're gonna be in jail, a fake jail cell, and he's gonna be with like your favorite artist thing, like Offset's going back. It's like Moneybagg Yo and a whole bunch of other another streamer too. A couple YouTubers are popping out. But it's crazy now, like that.
Chopper.
We're so fast. We're fascinated with fantasizing jail to the point where we want to be like, oh, what do our favorite streamer and our favorite rapper look like if they share a jail cell? I don't get it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't get it because it's fake. You know what I'm saying? 60 Days in is fire because it's real. Niggas is in there really getting spanked out. Motherfuckers really in there panicking, thinking they about to get stabbed overnight because they might could. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. This is like completely fake, so I don't get what the whole point is. Like, I just want to see these niggas in a really small room in a setting.
I am totally not a fan of this movement, and I know it's really sad because you out here glorifying jail.
That's what fucks me. I feel like you're glorifying, and especially because his majority of his fan base is children. Like he's like, barely 21.
No, like I can't get with a lot of the stuff that's out there, man. Because you're out here glorifying it and making jokes and trying to sensationalize going to jail when it's not anything to sensationalize about. It's not anything that's funny. It's not anything that should be entertaining. Like that. That's not a good image to put out there.
Yeah,
I'm definitely not a fan at all, and I don't. And I also don't agree with absolving him of blame just because of sensationalization. You feel me?
Nah,
you can
you're
always
right.
go into any avenue.
I'm hearing back what I just said, and now what you said, I'm like, yeah, I just sounded mad dumb.
No, it's okay, but that's why I like having these conversations. You feel me? And there's a lot of times where you say stuff, I'm like, wow, you made a really good point. But what I'm saying is,
yeah, that wasn't one of those times.
I just don't like the glorifying it, and Kai Cenat in general. Like I definitely I'm glad he has a movement. I'm glad he has the flow that he has, and and he's so popular and getting the chicken that he's getting, and shout out to him. But some of the stuff he does is very buffoonic. You feel me? A lot of buffoonery and a lot of stuff that doesn't do anything.
That is how he gets the money though. So that's why I was kind of absorbing him a blame, because he's just paying into like what he knows the audience is gonna like.
But
and if it's for the money, people
that's the problem.
throw what's the word, integrity right out the fucking window when it comes to money. Like, this might feed my people into wanting to think that thinking jail is okay. Like you said, like you're sensationalizing it, making it look like it's something entertaining,
like it's something fun. Like that's,
but the
that
thing is, we
thing.
already been that way. That's why in my brain I was kind of absorbing them up, because it's like since the beginning of time, man, we've always been fascinated by that shit, you know.
But
even when you hear motherfucker, this motherfucker did 10 years in jail, word, you want to hear about it. You want word what you did? Oh, what? What was the craziest thing you saw?
I think it's very, very harmful. It's extremely harmful. And
no, it is.
It's extremely harmful.
Overall, the more I keep looking at it, is, and even worse, you're putting the people's favorite celebrities.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're literally making,
and they're gonna be in there
cameos.
having mad fun, doing push-ups, easy bake ovens and shit.
Like,
they're definitely gonna be in there having mad fun.
Yeah, like you over here have celebrity cameos of faking being in jail. Like it's nothing to laugh about. It's nothing. It's not to poke fun of.
To a 10-year-old watching that shit on YouTube.
Like you're trying to. It's all look. See, I have such a problem with this culture in general. Look at the culture in general of what we portray, and then you have something like this to make it sensationalize how fun jail is. You know what I mean? That's just driving home on the idea of glamorizing criminality in general. Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, look how fun jail looks. Yeah. Look at Kai Cenat stream. It looks like it's having a blast.
That is scary.
Now, you
just actually fucked my head up. Now I'm really thinking about it. It's not okay, because kids are hearing the music. The music is saying go to jail, basically, and free my mans and free this, free that. And you go to jail. Best part is you become an album or a mixtape cover, and they're gonna put free you. And that's important.
Get it by any means, even if it's illegal. If you got to go rob for it, you feel me? It's sensationalizing all that, and now it's sensationalizing the jail experience. It's just a recipe for disaster.
The music is telling you to go to jail, and then your favorite streamer is like, yo,
look how fun jail is. Having fun. They're pranking each other. It's all fun and games. Yo. It should not be glorified, man. I have a very big issue with it.
Yeah.
Especially how much influence he has.
That's right. And his influence is so fucking, not only this big, it's towards the kids. That's where the more impressionable minds, the ones that really like, we can obviously look past that. Yeah. We can look past that and just be entertained by him and our favorite rapper being in the room dancing and being funny. But the kids are like, oh shit, like what if I go to jail, fuck around and hang out with Offset? Because kids are that fucking stupid.
And what you just said, that's the point I've been trying to drive home a lot on this podcast in general. The difference between education and entertainment. Right. What you just said, we can look past that and look at further entertainment. A lot of people can't.
Right.
You have to get your education from somewhere. And if you're not getting your education where it's supposed to have, then this is going to be your education. You know what I mean? You're supposed to look at Kai Cenat like an actor, like a Denzel, like a Will Smith. You see a Denzel movie, you know what I mean? You're not looking at Denzel the person as this thing. You're looking at him as an entertainer. Right. You know what I mean? Right. But instead you're looking at it like this is real life.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And that's one of the biggest things I'm trying to drive home on this podcast is separating the entertainer. It's looking at the entertainer for entertainment purposes only. Mm-hmm. And we're not in a position where we can do that. We're not in a position as a community, or how our education set up, how our everyday is. We're not in a position where we can separate the two. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Nah, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? That's just how I think about it.
Damn, that was deep. That was deep.
But yeah, bro, it's
I just fucked my head up.
You should be able to look. You should be able to look at stuff like this, just like watching a scary movie. Feel me? Okay, movie's done. Click. Let me get back to reality, or let me get back to whatever. Mm-hmm. People can't separate the two.
Yeah, especially the youth.
Especially when you're a rapper and this is the only character you play. Will Smith, Denzel, you feel me? They'll play Al Pacino. They'll play so many other different characters, and you see them in totally other different lights. These artists, these streamers, whatever the case may be, they're only in this persona. You feel me? Just like I can look at it like a WWE performer. You feel me? If you only see them in that light as the villain, you might look at him as a villain instead of that as the entertainer.
Yeah, word.
You know what I mean?
I just seen the Undertaker for the first time out of character ever in life. That was like recently. He just started coming out of character.
That's what I'm saying.
Like he was talking about, he used to walk around the airports like that.
Like, like
7 feet tall with a fucking full trench coat.
Yo, full
like,
makeup on.
That would have been the red flag.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, get that nigga because there's something under that trench coat. What the fuck you walking around like that for? The fuck you walking around like that for, gang?
He's the Undertaker, bro. What you
That's
mean?
what I'm not jacking at, bro.
He's giving out tombstone pile drivers.
Yo, chill. Somebody died doing that shit back in the day too. I remember that.
Of course,
that shit was crazy.
Broke their neck, but
yeah. He broke some little girl neck.
But yeah, man, just the entertainment space in general, man, it's very disappointing what's being pushed out there and what people are, the type of content, man. It's extremely detrimental.
It's alright though, you know why? Because eventually this shit is all gonna go full circle and we're gonna do better, bro. I think so. We talked about we talked about shit a couple episodes ago, I think, when we were talking about like how peace and all that stuff was like in fashion. I think it's gonna go back to that, especially after we had this war. After shit gets spooky again, motherfuckers is gonna have to, calm all that shit down.
I hope so, man.
It's just, it definitely don't get better till it gets worse. That's
right.
That's one thing I've learned since the beginning of time. It don't get better till it get a lot worse. You know what I'm saying?
But would you not consider this worse as far as the culture and the community?
It is, but it's gonna get even worse.
Now
it's gonna get way worse.
You got to think when you talk about timeline is a bunch of group of people were put in a certain situation, right?
Right.
Put in a certain situation, and through that situation, they created their own culture. Right.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward, we live in a society where they have more options, they have more freedoms to do other things. But the situation that we put in, we perpetuated ourselves through generations from it, and now we have the mindset of what we were put in, rather than doing what we can do now as the freedoms that we do have. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I look at it like an example. If I know it's gonna get worse, all right. So like, boom, this is kind of off topic. But not really.
It's okay.
You have the Revolutionary War. Okay. And that was motherfuckers trying to get their own independence from the countries that they just came from to create their own country, right?
Okay.
Shit was bad. We was fighting to the death with everybody. We was natives. We was fucking up the Europeans, doing whatever. Well, the other motherfuckers that was trying to be like, nah, we're still keeping this shit as part of Europe. They're like, no, this is America. Cool. 100 some years later, Civil War. Now we fighting each other. It wasn't even 100 some years later. I thought it was like 70 years later. 70 years later, now I'm fighting my neighbor on this land. Somebody got to go because we don't agree. So right now, we're still on that first part where we fighting overseas. But this shit's going to land in America. You heard it here first on Free Jones Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's coming. I think it's going to be that kind of stuff. Like, I think it's going to be like that.
Like Civil War?
Yeah. It's going to be them versus us and us versus them. And whatever that us is and whatever that them is, I'm not claiming a side right now. All I'm saying is I don't know what the two sides are going to be, but I know it's going to get nasty, and that's what I mean by it's going to get worse. The bloodiest, the most lives, the most casualties ever, the most American casualties at war ever were on American soil, and it was by Americans. The Civil War. The most Americans died in any war was during the Civil War, and that's because we were killing ourselves. That, to me, is the epitome of it got worse. I think that's what I mean by it's gonna get worse.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I don't mean to be too negative, but that's what I was thinking about when I'm like, yo, when I say it's gonna get worse, like, oh, you think this is bad? Remember we were talking about, oh, shit ain't real till they come and fuck up our land? Well, what if we're fucking each other up? And then we don't have to worry about no terrorists coming over here. We are. And all of a sudden, your neighbor might be the terrorist because he's against what you have thought. You know what your thinking is, and we're gonna see it's gonna be a real clean line between who's what and what's what. It's gonna be real clear, and
it's
gonna be flags, pitchforks, posters.
I don't want to dwell too much on the topic. Just like I talked about before, when Trump did, he separated the lines so much. You feel he draw a line in the sand.
That's the step right there.
The sand is already drawn in a line. You feel me? Which side you're on? He sensationalized and he dragged it out. I think he separated.
He's one step into that direction, and you got to understand though what happened after the Civil War. A lot of rationalizing, a lot of new ideas, a lot of new thinking, new ways of thinking. It wasn't automatically the most progressive, but Can we agree that it had to happen?
It was Reconstruction.
Can we agree that it had to happen? Can we agree that we had to weave out the complete lunatics from when what made sense and didn't make sense, and maybe that side did have some parts that made sense and vice versa, and they came together and recreated some shit. It had to happen though, and I think that's where we're heading.
It's funny you say that it had to happen because Abe Lincoln said if there was a way he could resolve this conflict without letting the slaves go, he would. He would have.
Damn.
It had to happen.
Had to happen.
Had happened.
And see, like, and he felt that way and still understood. This gotta go. This isn't gonna.
It was bigger than the slaves. It was about power. It was about power. What was going on? You feel me?
Facts.
Because you got listen. You got to realize what was going on in the South. So I'll put it like this. I'll give an example. Let's say there was a certain area in the U.S. Where the soil was so enriched that these farmers were making so much money. In this specific area, the country's farmers were making so much money hand over fist, they were getting filthy rich, right? But they weren't paying taxes on it. Right. The other parts of the country weren't seeing any of the dollars that this certain area was going.
Right.
So now the other areas like, hey, we are all a unit. You have to share some of those resources to us. And these farmers are like, no, fuck you. Right. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So now, as the president, Abe Lincoln, seeing how powerful the South is getting, the South is getting so much power, so much wealth off of this free labor that they're getting. The only thing he had to free the slaves in order to keep the power and balance of the North and the South. You know what I mean? It's not like he was an abolitionist by trade.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I have to free these cows and these pigs and these turkeys and these chickens in order for everybody for the greater good, then that's what has to happen. It's not like he was part of PETA where he was doing it morality. It was economics. Right. It was way bigger than that. It wasn't a moral compass he was doing it from. It was a standpoint of the South is getting too powerful and we don't know if we can control them anymore. We don't know if we'll be able to do anything if this continues. Yeah. You feel me?
Well, we see what the future of this country holds, man. We got into his political spiel for this last 40 minutes.
I didn't even think we was gonna get to
it. It all
that.
stemmed from the original thing, man. We just want to send big condolences and prayers out to the families and everybody that lost anybody in that Maine situation, man.
Big condolences. Do you see what's going on with Dwight Howard and everything in that situation?
Oh shit, I was about to say. Yeah,
we about to be out of here?
Yeah,
we got time? All right,
that's what I was saying. We can talk about Dwight Howard. Listen, Dwight Howard, by all means, listen, do your thing, pimpin'. Niggas is not mad at you. Just don't be doubling back and not making no sense later on. Because that's when niggas start holding your feet to the fire. At the end of the day, bro, you 7 feet tall, you rich as shit, you could beat up damn near everybody on this planet. You be all right, gang. Like, fuck it.
See, for those who don't know, real quick. For those who don't know, Dwight Howard, former NBA superstar. He was just a man just accused him of sexual assault.
Right.
And Dwight Howard's side was it was consensual.
Right.
And what you said just now is this part of the problem I have with the culture and society in general. There was so much sensationalization based off the fact that he's gay rather than him being accused of. Yes, this is the second time he's been accused of sexual assaulting a guy.
Right.
Everybody's worrying about the fact that he's gay, and and it's going over people's heads the fact that he's accused of sexual assault. Right. That's what I'm saying. Who cares what he does?
Yeah, people don't realize there's a victim in this.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, Dwight Howard's gay. Dwight Howard. That's all people are going and running with. And they're overlooking the bigger picture at hand. Like, whoa, bro, this is the second time he was accused of sexually assaulting a man. Yeah. You feel me? I think that should be more of the topic and more what people are focused on, the fact that he's gay. Who cares? And that's another societal issue I have in general. Like, who cares what people do in their own time as long as they're not hurting anybody? Who cares about that?
And that's what his response was. He's like, yo, bro, whatever the fuck I got going on in my house, what the fuck I got going on in my house.
But I totally agree with that. But at the same time, is people have poured so much energy to the fact that he's gay rather than being accused of committing this crime.
Yeah, but that's for right now. That's all changing slowly but surely. That shit is news today. That shit will be gone tomorrow. Plus, everybody already knew Dwight Howard was moving weird. Like, everybody already knew that. That's been a rumor since
absolutely.
since the 2010s.
I just wanted to mention the fact that people care so much more about he's gay rather than the fact that the accusations that they're accusing him of.
Nah, yeah,
you
man.
feel me? That's the only thing I got to say about that. And we got to do better as a society. We claim we want all this inclusion when it comes to the LGBT community, but when stuff like this happens,
if you 7 feet tall, don't go around raping niggas, please. Like, that's fucking wild, son. Like, don't go around raping anybody. But like, just chill, bro. Like, just chill. Like, hopefully he ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's all alleged. You know what I'm saying?
It is definitely all alleged. But who cares what Dwight Howard's got going on?
But two is crazy. You have 2 of them now, 2 allegations. I don't know. Maybe the Me Too movement is spreading over into the gay areas. You know what I'm saying? Because you seen what they did with Mike Jack. You see what they did, Surviving Neverland. Now niggas is involved in this Me Too shit. You know what I'm saying? It's men getting into this Me Too shit. You know what I'm saying? But either way, man, hopefully none of that happened. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dwight Howard. He's doing his thing like Thailand or some wild shit. He's in some crazy country balling the fuck out.
Taiwan, I think.
Where?
Taiwan,
not Thailand.
It's Taiwan.
Very similar. Asian, South Asian. You know what I mean?
Is he still? I don't know if he's still. He could be still in the
That
league.
nigga was averaging 50 and 35.
Yeah, he was shooting 40-footers.
Man, but on that note, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in, man.
Thank you guys.
It's been the Free Jazz Podcast, man. RIP, prayers up to everybody in Maine, man.
Absolutely. And everybody who's affected, you know what I mean, in that situation. You know, right now I don't see a result from this whole thing, but hopefully somewhere in the near future there is. And you know,
we're gonna keep progressing and moving forward, man. This is still America, still the greatest country in the world. So we're gonna figure this shit out. If there's one thing I do know is we're gonna figure some shit out. You know what I'm saying? But Free Jazz Podcast, man, episode 87. Thank y'all so much, man. And have a happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
And make sure y'all check y'all candies because there's weirdos out there putting fucking chemicals and blades and switchblades and shit.
Check the apples.
And if you're in the hood, if you're in the trenches near you, go inside the house. Don't go outside for Halloween. Party till about 7 p.m. and go inside. There's niggas getting cut outside. There's niggas getting shot.
Be careful.
Go home.
There might be a switchblade in your almond joy.
But
be
for
careful.
real. On that note, we gone.
We out of here.
Appreciate y'all.